Hey guys, it's Lacey with the Content Direction Agency, and this is your weekly 15-minute content marketing debrief. Actionable information you can use to improve your content marketing strategy. And this week, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do some behind the scenes type stuff. So instead of talking about exactly what my blog post is this week, I'm actually going to kind of give you guys a behind the scenes look at why I'm doing this particular blog post. Okay, big mood. Does anybody get on live and then like try to fix their hair or makeup in the video, and then like you've got the mirror thing happening? So you're like, wait, is it this side? Is it this side? No, maybe just me. If you're watching today, can you please give me a like or a wave or a Lacey, you're crazy today comment? Or if you're feeling particularly generous, please share this with your network or with one of your groups, because the more people who interact with this post, the more people that Facebook will serve it up to in my community and others. So it really helps me get more traction the more you like and say hi. So this week, I want to talk a little bit about case studies. So if you check out my blog this week, lacyboggs.com/blog, you'll notice that I'm sharing a case study about my friend Michelle, who hired us because she got a really cool opportunity from a trade group in her industry. So the trade group wanted her to come in as an expert and help them write their newsletter. So I believe it's actually like a trade show that wanted her to write the newsletter for the trade show. And so she's not employed by the trade show, but she's seen as an expert in her industry. Plus, if she gets to put her name on that, all the people who go to the trade show, who are a lot of whom are her potential customers, will see her name, will say, oh my gosh, she's such an expert that the trade show has her writing the newsletter, and they'll go look her up and work with her, right? Except that Michelle's pretty much a solopreneur. She has some assistants, but mostly she's a one-woman show. And so adding this to her plate, she knew that was going to be way more than she could handle. So she contracted with us, and she has, a writer, a dedicated writer with us who helps her write and produce this newsletter for the trade show every month. And it's awesome. It's brought her a ton of opportunity. The trade show people are super happy, and we're super happy. But the reason I wanted to share this week is because part of my big drive this year is to increase the number of people we have on our retainer. So that's my big business goal this year. And part of the reason that's a goal is because we've tended to attract people who like one and done projects, or they want my strategy session, but then they don't really know if they need ongoing content support and so on and so forth. So I really wanted to focus on getting those people who wanted long-term contracts. So that's because that's our bread and butter. You may have also had a similar problem where the thing you really want to sell isn't the thing that people are necessarily coming to you to buy every single time. And generally what I find is when that's happening, there's a content mismatch. So I had a really dramatic example of this a few years ago where I had been writing all how-to articles, how to write your blog, how to plan your calendar, how to do X, Y, and Z. And so guess what? I had attracted a bunch of people who wanted to do it themselves because they were reading how-to articles. But I wanted to be attracting people who wanted us to do it for them. So I had to make a major shift in the kind of content I was producing. So I just wanted to share this week a little bit about why you might want to share case studies and have case studies written for your business. Because a lot of us, I think, shy away from case studies. We don't know how to make it sound awesome without also sounding like we are tooting our own horn, which we have. Women, especially in Western culture, have been told we're not supposed to do. We're not supposed to brag. We're not supposed to be proud. We're not supposed to do all these things, right? We're supposed to say, oh, I didn't really do that work. That was because of such and such. Or, somebody gives us think about the Oscars even, right? These actresses get up and actors too, and accept awards for the best performance of the year, and they thank a zillion other people. Which is fine. That's super nice. That's super polite. But all those other people weren't out there giving the performance of their lives, right? So anyway, sidebar. Former film student here riffing about the Oscars. The point is, we've all been sort of conditioned not to want to toot our own horn, not to brag. when really we ought to be telling people what we are capable of, what we can accomplish. So for a long time, I didn't write any case studies for my own business because it just felt like bragging. It felt like saying, this is what I can do, when really I was always like, but I'm just a small cog in that person's business, right? Well, I gave that up as a bad habit last year. I started writing some case studies, which if you're interested, you can go on my website. It's the main opt-in download right now. And you can grab one of our case study documents that has 3 really great case studies in it. But what I've discovered is this was something I was telling clients to do that I wasn't doing for myself. So I needed to step up and start actually tooting my own horn a little bit and saying what we can accomplish for our clients. And this feels weird, right? It feels weird to say like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. I never wanted to focus on numbers in my business. And I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that, but like, I didn't even want to ask our clients for a long time, like, how are those blog numbers doing? Because I was afraid they would say, oh, they're not that great. And by the way, we're going to fire you. Like, I was afraid of that. So that's why I wasn't even like checking the numbers to see how well we did. Well, when I did start checking, guess what? We were doing pretty well. We've gotten a lot of really great results for our clients. And so it's not bragging to say, this is what happened. This is what we did. Another sidebar here. I'm just going to go off on a tangent. I was in musicals in high school. Like, give me a high five or hands up if you did high school musicals when you were in high school. But one of the musicals we did was the Will Rogers Follies, which is like super obscure. I'm sure it was because it was cheap. And but Will Rogers had all these wonderful pithy quotes. And I remember on closing night, they got us a cake. And it had a Will Rogers quote on it. And it said, it ain't bragging if you done it. Or if you done it, it ain't bragging. One of those. He's not wrong. If you done it, it ain't bragging. So like, I finally had to embrace the fact that these results we were helping other businesses get, yes, we were partially responsible for those results, right? And it's really interesting because I've seen this in a lot of other people. It actually came up today in an email. I was talking to another contractor who we both work with the same client. And she does things like SEO optimization and things like that. And she was saying, like, I'd love to write a case study someday about the work we've done together. I was like, yeah, I totally would love that too. And I said, I'd written a case study about this client already, about the $300,000 email. And what happened was, in short, this client was looking for angel investing. We decided to write a blog post about his investing adventures. They started on Kickstarter and now they were finally going after angel investing. And so we wrote this blog post that was sort of like a behind the scenes because those had done really well for him in the past. And as part of the blog post, of course, we wrote an email to go out to his list. Now he sells men's clothing, mostly pants at the time. So he had a list of about 10,000 people who buy pants. Like, these were not investors. These were not bankers. This was not, it was just 10,000 people who had bought a pair of pants or were interested in buying a pair of pants. And we wrote this email about, how he funded the business and why he was going after angel investing. And because of the rules around angel investing, you can't like come right out and say, hey, give me money for my business. Like, it doesn't work like that. So we had to be very careful about what we said. But in the email, we put a little PS and it was like, if you're an accredited investor and would like to talk to us about it, hit reply. These come back right back to me and we can talk. Well, so that one email generated about 16 responses, I believe. And of those 16 responses from people who were interested in investing, and of those 16 responses, he eventually got 3 real live investors that ended up investing over $300,000 in his business. So basically, we wrote one email that garnered $300,000 for this guy's business. And I wasn't talking about it. Now, I will be really careful to say, like, I don't believe it was that one email that said, hang on, my phone is ringing. I don't know who that number is. It wasn't that one email that made people want to invest in him. I believe very strongly that it was the 2 years of content, the 2 years we had spent building up his know, like, and trust factor with his audience that led to those people trusting him enough to say, yes, I want to invest in your company. But it's fun to say, like, the $300,000 email. So the point here is, like, If you're not using case studies in your business, I highly recommend you give it a try because they can be incredibly persuasive, especially when people are on the fence about working with you. So I know we've talked in the past about the customer journey, right? They start at it's backwards. They start at totally unaware and go all the way to aware of you and just need to be pushed over the edge to become a buyer, right? Well, when they're at that, like, I know about you, I know what you offer, I'm interested in what you offer, and I need what you offer, but I'm just trying to make the decision. A case study is an incredible way to help them push over that last little ledge and make the decision to press the buy button and say yes, because it shows the results you can get. It shows how you work with people like them or similar people like them. They can put themselves, like, imagine themselves in that situation, which is super helpful, right? We want to be able to imagine ourselves in the situation before we make a purchase, in the after situation, right? So, like, we want to be able to say, after I make this purchase, I'm going to build up the know, like, and trust factor with my audience so that eventually I can, sell $1 million or get some angel investing or whatever it is. But they have to be able to see themselves in that position, and telling a story with a good case study can do that for you. If you're interested in that sort of thing, if you're interested in finding out more about how case studies can work for you, I highly suggest you give us a call. Well, don't give us a call. Like, I hate the phone. But what you can do, what you can do is go to lacyboggs.com/undercover. There's a little questionnaire there. Fill that out, and it comes directly to my inbox. And then I'll send you a link, and we can get on a Zoom call and talk about how case studies might be valuable to your business. Because here's the other secret ninja move that you can do if you are a little, like, nervous about case studies in your business. I have found that one of the main reasons people don't publish case studies is that they don't want to ask their customers to say nice things about them. Like, they feel awkward. They're afraid they're afraid that people will say not nice things, or it just feels awkward to call somebody up and say, hey, would you give me a testimonial and say lots of nice things about me? Not that you would ever say that way, but you know what I'm saying. Like, that feels awkward. So we have partnered with a woman who is fantastic at this, and her name is Karen Kelbaugh, and she is an expert at getting testimonials, interviewing your customers or clients, and getting the testimonials. Whether you want, like, actual client feedback where it's constructive criticism, where you want to know how to improve your whole client experience, or if you're just asking a satisfied customer, like, can you give me a testimonial? Karen can do that for you, so you don't have to have the awkward, like, sitting there while they're saying nice things about it. Maybe this is just me. Maybe you guys don't have that problem. I have this problem where they're, like, it's super awkward where they're sitting there going, yeah, Lacey's great. And I'm like, oh, this is really awkward. Karen can do it for you. She can also, like, code the interview and break it down into pieces so that you can use it for all your marketing needs. Believe me, as a writer, when I say that the database she provides with all the quotes coded out is, like, amazing. It's like gold and candy and rainbows for a content writer like me. But then what we can do is turn that into a fantastic case study that really tells the success story and paints you as the expert, right? So one of the best things about case studies is that you can not just say, like, here's what happened, but then you can position yourself as the expert to say why it worked, which is awesome. It's a really great way to do it. So if you're interested in seeing what a decent, I'm not going to say it's the best one ever, but what a decent case study looks like, head over to the blog this week. It's lacyboggs.com/blog. And you're looking for the blog that says Playing Bigger When You're a Solopreneur. Or you can come on over to the website and download our case study document, which is our main opt-in right now. And check it out. See how we've done it. See how it might work for your business. The other thing I wanted to mention here is if you have any questions about how to use case studies in your business or why we're using it as our opt-in or things like that, please leave them in the comments below. Even if you're watching this on a replay or on YouTube, leave them in the comments below and I'd be happy to answer your questions even after the fact. So if you have enjoyed this little rant, 15-minute rant about how to use case studies in your business, please give me a little like or a little wave or a little hello or leave me a funny GIF in the comments. I do love a funny GIF. And that will help Facebook know that this video is relevant and interesting content, so they will show it to more people, which is what we want. And if you have any questions at all about case studies, leave them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them whenever I see them. So thanks a lot. I'll see you next week. And in the meantime, happy content marketing. Talk to you later. Bye.